Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about Power BI and Copilot. Now, in an earlier video, we talked about a similar topic, but in early June, Microsoft had a new blog post, and here they say that Copilot can be used to ask questions against semantic model. Now, in the earlier version, Copilot could be used to ask questions against visuals in your report. But now looks like there has been some new updates. Although this feature is still in preview, we thought it's a good time to take a look at this topic again. So let's get started. Now here I am in my sales analysis model, and I have Copilot enabled, and the restrictions still apply. You need a higher capacity F64 or P1 to have Copilot, to get to Copilot to work. But anyway, let's get started. Now, we know that as we enable Copilot, it gives you some options. For example, give me a executive summary report. So if I click on that, what it does is it goes through the data that's there in this report. Right now, all the visuals, it'll analyze all the visuals, and it'll spit out some information. And once it does come back with the information, we can read through it and click on them, and each of the different charts are highlighted as we read through this. And this is pretty basic. It's just reading through the visuals and coming out with that information as a text format. So, but this was available in the earlier version of Copilot as well. We want to see if more has been added in the last few months. So what I want to do is I want to ask some questions about data that is not available in this report page. Right now, all my analysis, my sales margin is based on product categories, business units. I also have a customer dimension to this, customer lens I could use. So I want to start by asking questions about those and see if Copilot can read the actual semantic model underneath and not just the report elements that are there in this visual. So I'm going to ask, the first thing I want to find out is, can Copilot provide the top 10 customers based on profitability? Let me go ahead and ask that question and see what it comes back with. Okay, so when I ask the question about profitability, it comes back and says it's confused. It doesn't know what profitability is, which is fair enough because I've used the word margin in my measures, so it doesn't know what it is. So I'm going to reply back and say, hey, profitability is the same as margin, and then let's see if it actually comes back with a response. So it's giving me the difference between profitability and margin. Fair enough. Okay, I will say in my model, profitability is the same as margin. Okay, and let's see what it, hopefully this addresses the difference it's thinking. Okay, so it comes back with a response. Now it understands that in my lingo, profitability and margin is the same. So it's now comparing top performing teams, profitability, and business units, but it has lost the context that I started asking about customer names. So yeah, it looks like it doesn't maintain the context of the conversation. So I'm going to re-ask my question and see if it comes back with a better response this time. Okay, so looks like it did come back with a better response. So also they've added this show reasoning option here. So I believe this will give you more explanation of how Copilot came up with this response. But in this case, it really doesn't make sense. And then if I can expand the visuals, see my top customers by margin. Okay, fair enough. And then also I can add this into my report as well. Okay, now I'm something similar. So top 10 customer names by profitability percent. Let's see if it understands that in my scenario, profitability percent is the same as margin percent. And well, that was good enough. So it did realize that, and now it gives me the list of customers by margin percent. That's good. Top 10 customers. So far, so good. But these things, I mean, there's nothing special so far that Copilot has done, right? I mean, these are things we could quickly build a visual and figure out. Now, I want to see if it can provide more insight. So I'm asking now, compare margin and margin percent for my top customers and see if you can come up with any outliers or any Let's see what it comes up with. Well, it's come back with a visual where, if I expand this, it basically is showing the margin and margin percent as two different, in a visual. It's not really doing providing me any insights in this with this data. Let me see if I can re-ask this question. So I'm going to say, could you provide insights with regards to customers based on margin and margin percent? I'm trying to use the word insight and to see if it actually triggers anything. Okay, so the response I get is, well, it's not able to generate any summary based on the current page visual. So really it needs, for any insights, looks like it still needs the visual to be part of the page, report page. So it does not provide, it's still not able to provide insights based on the semantic model itself. Okay, my customer table also has an attribute called state. I want to see if it's able to provide me a visual based on state. So let's say, please provide sales by state, and I want to see what it comes back with. Okay, so it did come back with chart. Let's say, please represent this. Well, yeah, it just put this as a table, not as a map as I expected. Let me try to re-ask this. Please represent sales by state in a map visual. Well, looks like that it's not able to create a map visual just by asking for it. Okay, so I mean, looking at it so far, looks like Copilot now can actually read the data from the semantic model for some basic instances. Like if I have a measure name and a attribute name, it's able to create visuals. But again, which visuals it creates and how we is like we just saw, it's not able to create a map visual, but it's at least able to come back with some response. So it can do a little more than it did before. Previously, just if I had those attributes and metrics on my report page, it was able to provide some insights. But now at least it can read the semantic model and provide some visuals with for fields that are not there in the report page. But for insights, it has to be part of the report page. And the visuals itself, I think it still needs to evolve. The map visual, it was not able to provide that or create that. So I think it's still work in progress. It still has a ways to go before it can be useful, because really for me, Copilot is useful as a Copilot, not to build basic visuals that I can do. I want Copilot to be that extra step where it can provide insights, things which I can quickly go to rather than build basic visuals. Hopefully, I understand it's a journey, but it's nice to see the progress that's being made, and hopefully soon we will get to that insight level. And as usual, if you've got any questions, obviEnce.com.